Last week, I broke down the Royal Veterinary College Doodle Behavior Study, all 24 pages of it. And the thing I kept thinking as I read through it is that the scientists documented something I've been teaching for years. They just didn't name it. They surveyed over 9,000 dogs, nearly half owned by first time dog owners. Dogs who were smart, social, high energy, and living in generous homes where enthusiasm got rewarded, as is. They called it a behavior problem. I call it the trust fund puppy. And today we're going to decode it, what it is, how doodles end up there faster than almost any other dog, how to tell if yours has, and what the one lever is that flips the whole dynamic. And at the end, I'm going to tell you where we fix it together. I'm Corinne Gearhart, founder of the Doodle Pro and your host. This is episode 93 of the Doodle Pro Podcast. Let's get into it. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You adore your doodle, obviously, and you've showered them with the good life. Walks, toys, couch snuggles, all the hellos. Because have you seen that face? Somewhere along the way, your sweetheart got an all-access wristband to life. VIP entry to people, places, perks, without having to show even a tiny bit of please at the door. Benefits on tap. Responsibilities, not so much. Did you accidentally raise a little nepo dog? A lovable one with great hair? It happens, especially with doodles. This framing comes from trainer and author Suzanne Cloer and her relationship-centered training philosophy. I want to give her full credit because it's one of the most useful lenses I've ever brought into my work with doodle families. In this framework, a trust fund puppy is not a stubborn dog. It's not a dominant dog. It's not even a spoiled dog in the way that most people mean that word. It's a dog who has learned very logically that access just happens. Doors open, guests pet, toys fly, walks proceed, and the couch always includes your doodle. Your dog is not misbehaving. They're just following the pattern that you accidentally taught. Here's the key distinction, and I need you to really hear this. You don't have a bad dog. This is clear patterns meeting big feelings. Your doodle is not trying to take over. They're not disrespecting you. They are not dominant. They're doing exactly what any smart social creature does when the environment consistently delivers good things without requiring anything in return. They learned really well from you because you love them. That is not a failure. That's a pattern. And patterns can change. Now, here's why doodles specifically end up here more than almost any other dog. They are a neuro combo. Bright, bouncy, people-loving, fast learners. Optimistic to a degree that should honestly be studied all on its own. That combination means two things. First, they learn the access pattern way faster than most breeds. A lab might take weeks to really settle into the trust fund dynamic. A doodle can map it in days. Their brain is running a pattern recognition program at a speed that most dogs simply don't have. Second, we reward their charisma because how could you not? The zoomies are hilarious. The people like eyes are devastating. The way they greet your guests like long lost families, genuinely delightful. We reward the enthusiasm as is. And without realizing we are paying for something we didn't actually order. And then adolescence hits. Adolescence is the amplifier. It is the exact season when behavioral patterns harden. And it's also the season when emotions go to 11. The dog who is like entertainingly chaotic at 5 months becomes genuinely overwhelming at 14 months. And doodle parents are blindsided because the dog they brought home seems so smart and so willing and so easy. They were. They just learned the wrong curriculum. So How do you know if your doodle has drifted into trust fund territory? Here are 10 signs. I want you to just notice, not judge, just notice. 1, they greet first, check in with you, never. 2, threshold excitement. The energy spikes the second a door opens and goes from 0 to turbo automatically. 3, walks equal you are a passenger on their itinerary. 4, ball or tug resumes right after a jump, a bark, a spin. The chaos does not interrupt that game. 5, the couch and bed are self-serve 24/7, no invitation required. 6, the food bowl lands when there's whining or pawing. 7, they know the cue. They just perform it mainly when they feel like it. 8, guests get love bombed while you're apologizing for your dog. 9, pushback works. A whine or a paw, and you cave to keep the peace. 10, when you're empty handed, your voice has low value. If you felt called out by number 1 or number 8, that's good data. Not shame, good data. And if you felt called out by all 10, that's also good data. It's extremely common and is fixable. I built a 2-minute quiz that shows you exactly where your doodle lands on the trust fund spectrum, because the intervention looks a little different depending on where you're starting from. A mild trust fund puppy needs a different entry point than a full trust fund puppy who's been running the household for 3 years. Take the quiz before my challenge, and you'll know exactly which version of this you're working with. It's at thedoodlepro.com/trustfundpuppy. I'll put it in the show notes. Now, I want to talk to you about what happens if you let this pattern just ride, because this is not just about a dog who doesn't listen. Safety first. Door dashing, darting in the street, risky greetings with strangers, or dog reactive dogs. A dog who's never learned that your voice means something before you're holding a treat is a dog who doesn't come when it actually matters. Relationship second. When your dog consistently does what they want and ignores what you ask, resentment quietly builds. Not because you're a bad doodle parent, because you're a human being who wanted a relationship with your dog. And it feels one-sided. I hear this from doodle parents all the time. They feel embarrassed. They feel like they failed. They love their dog completely. And they also feel tired and a little invisible. And third, the listening muscle itself. Skills without any micro obligations, any small daily requirement of attention and cooperation, those skills atrophy. The dog who knew sit at 6 months, suddenly not knowing sit at 18 months, nothing got worse. The muscle just didn't get used. There's one lever that flips this entire dynamic. It's not stricter training. It's not withholding love. It's not becoming the kind of owner who says no to everything and turns every interaction into a drill. It's a structural shift in how your doodle accesses the good things in their day. Nothing disappears. The walks, the couch, the guests, the games, all of it stays. But access starts to require a tiny moment of cooperation first. Just a flicker, just a check-in, just a beat of attention before the door opens, before the food bowl lands, before the ball gets thrown. That single shift changes how your dog moves through the world. They stop assuming. They start asking. And the moment a dog starts asking instead of just taking, everything else becomes easier. The recall, the settle, the ability to be calm in a room full of people. It sounds almost too simple. It's not simple to install, but it is absolutely learnable. And it's exactly what we work on together in my challenge. The free Doodle Parent Challenge starts April 20th. Day 1 is why doodles are wired differently, and why that wiring means the trust fund pattern sets in faster for them than almost any other dog. Day 2 is this, the trust fund puppy. We name the pattern, we map where your dog is, and we start installing the lever. The whole challenge is 5 days, completely free, and built specifically for the behaviors the new RVC study just confirmed are real and common and not your fault. If today's episode made you think of your doodle, the challenge is the next step. thedoodlepro.com/challenge. And before you go, just 2 minutes right now, take the quiz at thedoodlepro.com/trustfundpuppy. When you take the quiz, you know where you're starting from. And then meet me in the challenge. I'm Corinne Gearhart, and this is the Doodle Pro Podcast. And I will see you where we celebrate how doodles are different, wonderfully so. I'll see you in the challenge April 20th.